all love to watch films. But have you ever wondered how and why they were made? Have you ever wondered how much a film costs to produce and how much they always hit at box office? Well, in my first movie, the Lego movie, they raised over $468 million at the box office. And in the case of my other film, this is Brown Boys movie, they had 3.6 million to spend in production, and they raised only 9.2 in the UK. The Lego movie script had to be rewritten. It was first wrote by Kevin and Dan Hackman. Chris Miller, Phil Lord, then took over the job. They didn't change any of the characters, but the plot changed drastically. Whereas Mrs. Brown's Boys, the movie, didn't change at all. It was a basic idea from the 90s by Brendan McCall and didn't change. Let me tell you about the production companies of these films.
The producers of the Lego movie are Warner Bros. Animation. It is an animated part of the major producer Warner Bros., which has produced many major successful films such as Harry Potter. Warner Bros. Animation is a successor to Warner Bros. Cartoons. This has created many high-profile cartoon series such as Looney Tunes. The founder of this is Hal Gear, who is an American producer and filmmaker. He was most famously again involved with Looney Tunes.
Because Mrs. Brown's Boys used the same cast as in the series, they were fairly easy to get hold of for the film, mainly due to the fact they felt excited and wanted to work with Brendan McCall and not let him down. Furthermore, the Lego movie didn't have any problems either. For example, the famous cast they have is stunning. Actors such as Will Ferrell and Morgan Freeman add to the film's use of iconography, which helped sell the film.
The Lego movie was released on the 6th and 7th of February. This was because the countries it was released in used the same character voices, meaning only subtitles were reported from the English version, whereas in the later versions the film had new voices for the main characters. The producer of Mrs. Brown's Boys, the movie, is BBC Films. BBC Films are a feature film making part of the BBC. They have produced some of the most successful British films of recent years. This includes Billy Elliot. BBC Films co-produces around 8 films a year, working with major international and UK distributors. Kristin Langan is head of it and responsible for the development and productions of the company. BBC Films are based at the British Broadcasting House in London. As I mentioned earlier, Warner Bros. Production produced major successful films such as Harry Potter. This was produced fairly differently compared to Warner Bros.' The Lego movie, mainly due to the fact that the Lego movie was totally animated. However, they were both similar in the sense that they took the children's idea and developed it into a film. First of all, the Lego movie is a film based around the children's toy Lego. In comparison, Harry Potter is based entirely around a series book wrote by J.K. Rowling. However, for one of many Harry Potter films, over £980 million was made at box office, which is enormous compared to the Lego. Mrs. Brown's Boys had a premiere in the Savoy Cinema in the capital of Ireland, Dublin. This was to show that it hadn't forgotten its Irish roots, which is a huge USP for the film. In contrast, the high-budget film of the Lego movie was first released in Copenhagen, where the premiere was held. This is because of the history of Lego and Denmark. The first pieces of Lego were first made in Denmark, so the film about Lego would more than definitely first be shown here. The Lego movie released a TV trailer which outlined the basic themes of the film and helped promote the movie. Also, they held themed Lego events which were held to help raise awareness of the film. During the release of the film, McDonald's released 8 limited edition cups with every Happy Meal to advertise it. A video game of the film has been released. This has also come in special edition, which comes with a limited edition minifigure. Many different versions on YouTube have been released for main cast talking about their particular character and what influence they have on the film. This is significantly greater compared to Mrs. Brown's Boys, where hardly any merchandise was released. However, they also had a TV trailer shown around the world to help promote the film. Mrs. Brown's Boys, the movie, was classed a critical failure by many different critics. Many reviews in many different websites or newspapers have backed this up. Many different critics didn't like the false humour which was created. They felt the film was more to cash in compared to actually being a success. A cash in will happen because they have a fan base from the series and will go and see the film whether it was good or bad because of the name of the film. However, if you weren't a fan of the series, you wouldn't want to see it, to be honest. The critics weren't able to see the film before public release, which was a bad sign. It was more of a sign that they were trying to cover up a bad film rather than sell a good one. The film received a rating of 8% on the website Rotten Tomatoes, which just shows it was deemed a failure. With the film being such a failure, it's caused the debate whether a successful TV series can be turned into a film and will be successful so for the next few years. Many TV series / films will be judged and everyone will be critical on them. Even though it's a critical failure, it still made over £14 million at the box office. The Lego Movie was a huge success. The reviews they received were brilliant. It was classed as a commercial and critical success. Many reviews said the film did let a huge reputation of Lego the brand down. They also said the humour generated in the film was funny for all audiences, which is a big USP for the film. The film received a 96% rating on the website Rotten Tomatoes, which is huge for a children's film. The Lego Movie's biggest headline was it was the first film in 2014 to make over $400 million, which was huge considering the vast amount of competition. This means the film should be classed as a financial success. Mrs. Brown's Boys the movie was in the cinemas from the end of June until the beginning of September, which is the whole of the school summer holidays. This shows it had legs for a couple of months. As I mentioned earlier, BBC Films produced a major film, Billy Elliot. This was produced similarly to Mrs. Brown's Boys in the sense it only predominantly uses British actors. It's based in Britain and the fact it uses very British comedy. They also both become very popular on stage in Britain. However, the finance used and produced is very different. First of all, Billy Elliot had a budget of $5 million compared to the $3.6 million of Mrs. Brown's Boys. Also, the amount raised on box office is a lot greater because Billy Elliot made around $72 million, which is a lot greater compared to Mrs. Brown's Boys' $9.2 million made at box office. Mrs. Brown's Boys' main cast are all family or related to some extent. This means it's an easy shoot because they all knew each other and they knew that any troubles could be sorted out around the dinner table. The majority of the film was filmed in the capital island, Dublin. This is completely different to the Lego Movie, as that was an animated film about Lego. 3 million actual bricks were used to make the film sets. Production designer Ron Frecklington and his team used Lego Digital Designer, which is a free computer program which allows users to build models using virtual Lego bricks to create around the Lego Movie sets. The Lego Movie had two main distributors. These were Warner Bros. Pictures and Roadshow Entertainment. Warner Bros. Pictures are an American producer of the film. They've been very successful over the years and distributed many famous films such as Harry Potter and Sesame Street. Furthermore, Roadshow Entertainment is part of the Australian media company Village Roadshow. They have helped distribute many films such as The Terminator or First Blood. Mrs. Brown's Boys the movie had one main distributor, Universal Pictures. This is classed as one of the Hollywood's big six distributors. They have distributed many successful films such as Jaws and E.T. months. However, the Lego Movie was released on the 6th of February and lasted till the end of April, which again is a couple of months, meaning both films have the same legs. However, first of all, the Lego Movie was a basic idea by the directors. It was meant to connect audiences together. For example, in the film, a father and son connect together through Lego. The directors Phil Lord and Christopher Miller said in an interview that connecting people through Lego was the main aim of the film. Secondly, my film, Mrs. Brown's Boys the movie, was an idea which was developed by the main character Brendan O'Carroll back in the early 90s. The character Agnes Brown appeared in stage, plays, radio, books, before the film was actually released.
Thank you for watching my documentary on the Lego Movie and Mrs. Brown's Boys the movie.